Hello everyone, glad to be back. Today is 7th of March, now it's 9:30 in the morning Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my channel in which I share latest updates on the news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets and Russian language pages on different internet platforms. There are quite a few very significant developments and news that I like to share with you for this moment. But before I start, let me make one little announce. In order to make updates shorter, I decided to divide it on two parts. In the first update, I will share with you information about Ukraine and news that are directly or indirectly connected to Ukraine or special military operation. And in second update, which will I upload during the daytime. In second update, I will share with you all the main news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets for that exact moment. This way, probably updates will be shorter than usual because many of you did ask me many times to make short videos, and that's my attempt to deal with this issue. So that's been said. Let's talk about news now, and I will start, of course, with Ukraine and special military operation. And we have information from Yan Gagin, who is aide to head of DPR, Donetsk People's Republic, and according to him, Zelensky's regime did lost up to 20,000 soldiers in Bakhmut, KIA. We are talking about killed in action. And if we take in account statements that military experts were making for quite a long time now, that Bakhmut is a kind of trap for Zelensky's regime and Ukrainian armed forces, then this statement from Yan Gagin definitely does make sense. There is no way I can confirm or know how many soldiers lost each side in Bakhmut direction, but Gagin probably knows more information, possibly even classified one, and that's what he's saying. According to him, Zelensky's regime lost up to 20,000 soldiers in Bakhmut, and if that's the case, then we can say that another 30 to 40,000, at least 30 to 40,000 Ukrainian soldiers were probably wounded during the fight for Bakhmut. When it comes to Bakhmut itself, situation is stabilized a little bit, because as I understand, after huge gains that PMC Wagner units made during the recent days, now they will reinforce and receive some additional ammunition to conduct offensive operations. So today and maybe tomorrow probably will be not that active in Bakhmut direction, but after a few days, I'm quite sure we will see attempt from PMC Wagner units to at least encircle Bakhmut or establish or move forward and basically take full control over the city. So as I understand, Zelensky's regime only has a couple of days to make decision about withdrawal of its forces from Bakhmut, even though it's not gonna be easy, because all the roads that are connecting, that's Bakhmut, this is Chisov Yar, so all the roads that are connecting these two towns are under Russian direct control or under Russian artillery control. I did share on my Telegram channels many videos with destroyed columns of Ukrainian armed forces that were in some cases trying to enter Bakhmut, in other cases they were trying to flee Bakhmut, and that's why I think even retreating from Bakhmut will be quite a difficult task for Ukrainian forces that are trapped in this city. But then again, they don't really have a choice. They have to surrender. die to the end, fight to the end, or basically die in that city, or try to flee Bakhmut with order or without order. And in the next couple of days, we will probably see final episode of this battle for Bakhmut. When it comes to overall situation on the front line, it's the usual stuff. In the southern part, in direction of Kherson and Zaporozhye, it's artillery duels mainly between the sides. Very active is Donetsk direction, Avdiivka first of all, of course, and that's Avdiivka, and this town more increasingly looks like a second Bakhmut, as I was predicting for God knows how long now. I just spoke about Bakhmut, and in next 2-3 days time we will probably see withdrawal of Ukrainian garrison from Bakhmut, or maybe by order from Zelensky, or maybe without order. We may see some unorganized mass withdrawal or an unauthorized mass withdrawal of Ukrainian forces from Bakhmut. But anyway, in next few days, fate of Bakhmut will be sealed. And of course, in direction of Seversk, there is activity. That's also usual stuff. Seversk, Liman, and Kupiansk direction. But it seems like attention from Bakhmut little by little, step by step, is shifting now in direction of this land bridge between Crimea and the mainland Russia, in direction of Zaporozhye region and Kherson region, because it seems like everyone is waiting now when this anticipated by many counteroffensive of Zelensky's regime will begin, and how it will develop and end. And next news exactly about that. RIA Novosti is reporting that according to official from Zaporozhye region, Vladimir Rogov, counteroffensive operation of Zelensky's regime in direction of Azov Sea was planned by militaries of US and UK. Yet again, there is no way to confirm this information. Of course, Washington and London not going to talk about it openly, but quite possible that they are very much involved in planning of this operation, because it's a crucial stage of entire this conflict for Western elites, especially for Biden administration, because they are desperate to receive they desperately need some good news from this conflict from Ukraine. And I'm quite sure US intelligence services and the Pentagon will be actively involved in planning of this operation. And in my opinion, we may also see a large number of NATO soldiers on the battlefield when Zelensky's regime will start this counteroffensive. I did said many times before that Western-made battle tanks and Western lately delivered to Ukraine Western armored personnel carriers probably will be operated by crews from NATO member states alongside with tanks. And if that's the case, then it's obvious that maintenance crews also will be from Western states. So we can say that in this battle, at least a few thousand NATO soldiers will participate, even though officially all those Westerners will be enlisted in some PMCs. For plausible deniability, that's what they will do. They will remove them from army and put on and enlist on some Western PMCs, and that's the way that they will introduce their forces at this stage to the battlefield. So let's see. Its weather is getting better and better, and it's only a matter of days probably, and we will see first stages of this counteroffensive. It will even take place. But attention definitely is shifting from Bakhmut and all the other directions to direction of this land bridge between Crimea and mainland Russia. As I have said many times before, I don't think Zelensky's regime will be successful. More than that, I think after failed during this counteroffensive, fate of Zelensky himself will also sealed. And after that, it's probably a matter of 2-3 months, and Washington will probably encourage Ukrainian militaries to conduct some regime change, and Zelensky will be removed from office because he will be unusable for the West at that point. Let's continue now, and we have still RIA Novosti's report. I did spoke about it. So yes, RIA Novosti is reporting that Pentagon did begun investigation about some leaked documents about Ukrainian armed forces. Yesterday I did share on my Telegram channel information about this leak document, which was top secret. But you can read detailed information about some Ukrainian units, what kind of equipment they have, and how ready they truly are for battle. But in my opinion, there was no leak from Pentagon or anywhere else. I think this paper ended up in media, especially. This is kind of a deception operation from Western elites, in my opinion. But still, we have a report here that Pentagon began investigating how this paper ended up in media. And yes, we will learn probably in coming days what will be the answer on that investigation. So yes, we can read here that in these materials we can read information about some 12 Ukrainian brigades and their equipment and the level of readiness to conduct some operations. But yet again, I think that's a deception operation, and those documents have nothing to do with the really top secret materials about Zelensky's armed forces. Let's continue now, and this is TASS News Agency's report, according to which President of Brazil made some critical statements about towards USA and EU, and basically he was criticizing Western elites because they are not even trying to push peaceful solution when it comes to Ukraine. And basically Luiz Lula, Brazilian president, is right, and I was also talking about this and many other channels, that Western elites are focused exclusively on military matters, and they are not even trying to push idea of peaceful negotiations. And this will continue. This will continue no matter who will criticize Biden administration or EU member states elites. They will push this war, this conflict, as long as they can, because All they want is to harm Russia as much as they possibly can. And they will fight before very last Ukrainian, if they have to, and if they had such opportunity. But yet again, Brazil is a major country in this world, and after China, we are now seeing that Brazil is also becoming active and raising its voice about situation in Ukraine, and probably this will become a kind of trend, and countries after China and Brazil, more and more countries will start about necessity of dialogue and necessity of peace negotiations. Let's continue now, and this is RIA Novosti's report about Macron's visit in China. As you know, it's entire, it's a coup, or kind of coup is building from European officials that want to visit China, and spoke with the Chinese leader, Xi Jinping. And Macron was, for example, first Macron, then Ursula also, and in few days' time, Borrell, another EU official, will visit China. And we have here report that says that according to, for example, Politico, US media outlet, Macron was unsuccessful to push China to enforce or to force China to take anti-Russian step or more pro-Ukrainian step. Basically, Macron was unable to influence Chinese position and to change its approach to Ukraine. And to be honest, I don't think Macron is Macron is the same level of politician that Chinese leader is. They are just in different leagues. Probably you will agree with me. Macron is, if we take football, for example, terms, Macron is a street player of football, and Xi Jinping is a World Cup winner, World Cup champion. So that's how different levels between these two politicians are, and the same I can say about Ursula and about Borrell. In Europe, for this moment, probably there is no politician which will have enough weight, political weight, to as Chinese leader does. And that's quite unfortunate situation for Europe. They are only Hungarian leadership that we can definitely say that acting as independent politicians, and especially Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary. But yet again, when it comes to heavyweights, Xi Jinping is in different league, absolutely. Probably only Putin can be or are in the same league, and that's it. So of course Macron would be unsuccessful. How are they gonna push China, man? It's not even serious. And let's continue now. And this is TASS News Agency's report. This is quite interesting story. Bank of America hold some conference about geopolitical issues, and this conference was shut down earlier than it was planned because participants in this conference start criticizing Zelensky and Western approach to Ukrainian conflict, and of course that did not go well with the leadership of Bank of America and Western elites as a whole. And this conference ended up being close. What you gonna say, man? How you gonna comment this? It's obvious that more and more voices are heard in West that are at least trying to play fair, at least trying to take a decent position. And yes, for now, war party is winning, but I believe after a failed counteroffensive of Zelensky's regime and after open involvement of at least Poland in this conflict, which will follow collapse of Ukrainian armed forces, probably situation will change in Western states, and more, not just ordinary citizens, but also politicians will start talking about peace, and will start criticizing Western approach to this conflict. That's also obvious logical continuation, in my opinion. And this is also interesting news. RIA Novosti is reporting that, as you know, a few days ago, Zelensky was in Poland, and he made some quite strange statements. And one of those statements was about Ukraine and Poland, and about border between Ukraine and Poland. And Zelensky said that they will be in foreseeable future, there will be no border between the countries. And this message was not really received well in Ukraine and in Poland also. And some media outlets even start talking about possibility of building some kind of confederation between Poland and Ukraine, or some kind of union between the countries, which is definitely a dangerous step for Poland, because Ukraine in conflict right now, in military conflict. And we have here a statement from former ambassador of Poland in Russia, Katarzyna Pelczynska, and she said that any talks about some union between Poland and Ukraine is unrealistic, and it's not really in interest of Polish society and Polish state. And he's basically encouraging Polish elites, or demanding even from Polish elites, to take more cautious approach to interests of Poland, and don't make steps that will endanger Polish society and Polish state. And she's absolutely right, and she's talking about here not just about military dangers, but she's also talking about political difficulties that will emerge if any union will be formed between Ukraine and Poland. And she is all about Polish interests, really. And she also said in his statement that after conflict will end, EU should play a crucial role to rebuild Ukraine, and Poland should become a more main beneficial of in that case. So Poland should be part of this rebuilding operation. I guess she wants EU money to go through Poland, or Polish companies to be actively involved in rebuilding Ukraine. But I think she is missing a point here. She is missing a point because, in my opinion, Zelensky's statement quite possibly was about reunification with Poland, western regions of Ukraine. Those regions formally may be called Ukraine, but Polish society, Poland will receive those territories as a Polish territories, because before Second World War, Lvov and all the areas around this town were part of Poland. So it's quite possible that we are now seeing first steps on high ranking level in direction of dividing Ukraine. Not many people see these statements from Zelensky this way, but that's how I read it. Because I'm quite sure after conflict will end in Ukraine, at least entire southeastern part of Ukraine will be under Russian control, from Kharkov to Odessa and Odessa region. And the western part will end up under control of Poland mainly, also Hungary, Slovakia possibly, and Romania. And if Russian side will not establish full control over the Kiev, then we may see a situation when Kiev and the western parts of Ukraine will join Poland in some kind of union, in some kind of confederation, or they will probably come up with some idea how to bring these territories under Polish control. So that's my take on this situation. And yet again, if Warsaw will conduct some negotiations with Moscow, not officially, but behind the curtains, I think Moscow may not be against if Poland will establish control over at least over the western parts of Ukraine. Who knows? So this is it for this first update. I hope you will find the video interesting, and if so, please consider to hit that like button, leave some commentary about any topic you like, and if you can, please share links to my videos or my channel with your friends on your Telegram account, on Twitter, Facebook, or any other platform that you are active on. And if you can, and if you want to, you can also support my channel with small donations through PayPal, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. You will see links under this video in description box. This is it for now. In a few hours time I will make second update, and I will share with you a news that are making headlines, that will make headlines in Russian media for that exact moment. See you soon, and take care.